I'd like to invite on stage Mr. Arun Puri, Chairman, India Today Group, to come up on stage and give away the awards. The first category is the India Today Woman Storyteller. Can we have the AV, please?
An award-winning self-taught animator, filmmaker and theatre artist, Gitanjali Rao has independently produced, directed and animated 2 award-winning short films, Orange and Printed Rainbow, which premiered at Cannes 2006 Critics Week in competition.
I work completely alone on my films, so it's really isolating. From idea to actually completing the film is almost very solitary.
Moving on to our next category, India Today Woman.
An electronic warfare expert who took charge as the Director of Defence Avionics Research Establishment, Bangalore, J. Manjula is the first woman to head any of the 9 defence aerospace labs in Bangalore and among the very few women heading DRDO labs. At DARE, her task is to develop modern avionics in fighter aircraft and incorporating advanced electronic warfare capabilities such as missile warners and countermeasures.
Aerial warfare is the one that is going to rule the world tomorrow. So here is where all our concentration should be, and I'm very happy to be here at this point in time when the country needs us.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. She's just won us a medal at the Commonwealth Games. Let's go into our next category, India Today Corporate Woman.
Rupa Kudwa and her organisation CRISIL stand out in the corporate world for 2 key developments over the last year. The first was the launch of CRISIL Inclusix, India's most comprehensive financial inclusion index, which accurately measures the extent of financial inclusion in the country in each of the 632 districts. The second was the release of CRISIL's first State of the Nation report that offers a holistic perspective on the economic state of India.
Our next category, India Today Woman Innovator.
Anusha Yadav is a photographer, archivist and graphic designer from NID who began the Indian Memory Project in 2010, a crowdsourced archive on India's past through words and photos of ordinary people's personal and family histories. Last year, she floated the Memory Company, a consultancy to document personal histories and pasts through various storytelling devices for corporates, communities, brands and people. Curation of contemporary and archival photo exhibitions and content is also on the cards.
Moving on to our next category, India Today Inspirational Women. There are 2 here.
Arunima Sinha, the national level volleyball player, lost her leg after being thrown off a train. She was pushed out of the moving Padmavati Express for resisting a chain-snatching attempt by hoodlums in 2011. She was also hit by a passing train and was seriously injured. She was hospitalized with serious leg and pelvic injuries, and in a bid to save her life, doctors had to amputate her left leg below the knee.
मेरा एक शरीर का अंग कट गया था, पैर कट गया था मेरा, वो भी एक प्लेयर, मैं 2 व्हीलर 4 व्हीलर सब कुछ ड्राइव करती थी, एक पैर कट गया। यही लग रहा था अब आगे लाइफ कैसे चलेगी। मैंने अपने पैर को ही अपना हथियार बना लिया।
In 2013, 2 years after the incident, she climbed the Everest with an artificial leg. She became the first Indian woman with an artificial limb to achieve this feat.
this category, we have one more person who deserves this award today.
Lakshmi was only 16 when a friend's 32-year-old brother threw acid on her face while she waited at a bus stop in Delhi's Khan Market. Her attacker wanted to disfigure her face permanently after she turned down his romantic advances. Despite the brutality of the attack, today at 24, Lakshmi has become a tireless and passionate campaigner against acid attacks. She is not only fighting for more financial and emotional support towards victims, but also against the widespread and easy availability of acid in India. Recognizing her courage, Lakshmi was felicitated this year with the International Women of Courage Award by US First Lady Michelle Obama.
Our next category, India Today Woman of Style.
From the famous Limca commercial at just 16 to the sensational debut in Bazigar, from winning Celebrity Big Brother in 2007 to owning an IPL cricket team, from a stunning actress to a fitness diva, Shilpa Shetty has donned multiple avatars and emerged winner in all of them. One of the best dressed celebrities in Bollywood, Shilpa lends style to whatever she does.
Our final award this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, do put your hands together. India Today Woman of the Year.
There were different mechanisms that people evolved and little things that they were facing in life. It's a vitamin shot, it's not chemotherapy, it's the chemo cut. What was your mechanism? How did you gather the will, the strength, the power to know that you have this disease and then to fight? What was your mechanism? What was Manisha's way?
When you get something like this, and when you face your own mortality, and when you realize whatever you have till now can just go in a snap of a finger, and you start reflecting a lot, you start questioning a lot. I think I had to deal with a lot of fear. I had to deal with a lot of uncertainty. And luckily for me, I had great family support. I had a support of my well-wishers, my fans. The good part of being a celebrity was that, you know, if I asked for a help, I would get it. So, in a time like this, so my own mechanism as such was my support, my family and friends' support. Also, the spiritual journey that I had taken a few years back, luckily for me, I could deal with the fears. I could stay with the fears and not really respond to it.
What were the saddest moments for you? The fear that you probably lived on that bed? Because that gave you the courage to fight, didn't it? That made those thoughts made you that you have to be bigger than the fear.
Yes, basically, I think sometimes it's good to just go in a snap of a finger than to live with the fear for a long time. It's like a sword over your head, you don't, because right after my operation, my surgeon, Dr. Chi, when I asked him, I got to know that when I gained consciousness, and I asked my doctor, so doctor, I heard the surgery was well, so do I have now a good life? He just shrugged his shoulder. He said, yeah, surgery went off well, but until unless we don't know how you react to the chemo, we don't know. So that means surgery wasn't the everything. Again, I have to go for the chemo and God knows what. It's like you have to, every step of the way you're faced with uncertainty and you have to deal with the fear. And that's the time I started consulting my spiritual teacher. And he taught me through Skype how to deal with fear. And at the end, I just realized, oh, the fear has come. Fine. I'm a survivor myself. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I had cancer in 2002. And may I say that you've discovered Goa. Let me say that I discovered life after I got cancer. It was honestly the most profound experience that I have had, and it has transformed me at a molecular level. Yes. I wouldn't be the person today that I am if it wasn't for cancer.
Yes.
And I wouldn't change anything in my life during that period of treatment and chemo and losing my hair and the trauma and everything.
Yes.
Because when I've come out to the other side, it's been a whole new world. And I'd like to just share two things with everyone, and that is, one was I wrote a journal every day while I was going through my treatment, and that is one of the most precious possessions that I have, and it lies by my bedside, and every now and then when I'm feeling a little down and out, I look at it because it's got the dates, and it helps me go through and connect to where I was and where I am today, and I say, forget it, I'm not going to get upset about it. And the other thing that really helped me was group meetings with other cancer patients. This is perhaps the most fearful and the most lonely experience of life. And if you can meet with people who are currently going through something similar, it helps you tremendously. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Indeed. One of the key things that you said, which is really important, is to share. And I think sharing my story helped me a lot. So now you say that when you see people walking across, you feel like hugging people.
Yes.
That's how precious life and every moment has become for her.
Yes.
You say sabko hug chalte chalte.
It's a lot has shifted. I may look the same person outwardly, but inwardly a lot has shifted. This is a flip side of facing with your mortality. Is I started asking this question. Okay, fine, one side was the fear of death and losing it all, and I said, okay, what is the other side? What do I have now? I have this life. I am fine. I have this beautiful, parent. I have amazing friends. I can walk in the grass and enjoy the grass. I can see the sunrise and sunset, and I enjoy that. I started being awe of this whole life. I started, I used to, earlier on, I would get out of my flat, get into the car, zoom off to today I walk. Today I like to go around the nooks and corners around my areas. I had no idea there were 7 parks around my building. Things like that. You start enjoying simple things, but these things we forget. That's the difference between existing and living. I live now. I was existing before, now I live.
एसिड अटैक सिर्फ मुझ पे ही नहीं, एक तरीके से पूरे परिवार पे एसिड अटैक हुआ था. पूरा स्ट्रगल था मेरे लिए. वहाँ से ही मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बड़ी चुनौतियाँ खड़ी हुई. आस पड़ोस के लोगों की, रिश्तेदारों की, दोस्तों की, बहुत सारी चीज़ें. मैंने अपना करियर खो दिया था. सब कुछ ख़त्म हो गया था वहीं से, सब बिल्कुल एक बर्बाद सा हो गया था, जिससे कि मैंने अपने उस हादसे के वजह से कुछ टाइम पहले मैंने अपने पापा और भाई दोनों को ही खो दिया। अब मेरी फैमिली में कुछ नहीं रहा।
What would your answer be to somebody who says beauty lies in the size of your jeans?
Levi's or Diesel?
Okay, the next one. Some man comes up to you saying you should maybe try and lose a little weight.
Call me, like never.
Okay, when you come across somebody who's really, really very thin and you tend to compare?
My assistant, is she here, Janvi? So we were upstairs in my room and someone from the India Today team came up and she was trying to pep me up for this talk and said, oh, but size, it's so not cool and curvy women and big. And little Janvi is really tiny. She's she's hiding because she knew I was going to crack this one. And I was like, really, you have a problem with skinny women? Is that what this is about? My point is, why pick a preference? No one's saying big is beautiful or small is ugly. I think women are beautiful. They come in all sorts of jars and shapes and bottles, colors, ethnicities, and that's really important.
Lovely. Do politicians in Indian politics take you seriously when you're from Bollywood and you dress up in a certain way?
No, I mean, it takes long. I'm sure it works. It takes very, very long for people to accept you as a serious politician. But for me, when you look into the history of South India, I think all the people, the present Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, Selvi Jayalalitha, or the prior Chief Minister, ex-Chief Minister Dr. Kalinyar, or to that Dr. Ramachandran, MGR, or NTR in Andhra Pradesh, they all have been related to cinema, they have been from films. So the history says that it has been a little easier. But the journey, definitely for people to take you seriously, is a serious job. I mean, I have had people from the opposition party and saying, what is this girl going to do? Are nange naach naachti hai, aage kya karne wali hai? So you really have to work hard to tell them, shut up man, I can still do my best. So you really have to work, be off to prove them that you are strong enough to do your duties.
Okay, Kiranji, coming back to, because I saw you squirm when I said about dress up in a certain way. What I meant was probably you'll have 2-3 politicians coming up to you, "Aap bahut achhi lag rahi hai."
No, I have the entire parliament saying that to me. It's not just 2 or 3 politicians. And it's very flattering and I'm very happy. I'm a woman. And I'm a woman in India. And what could be more exciting? Look at the choices we have to dress up. Sari, salwar kameezes, bindiyan, chudiyan, gehne, sab kuch hai, shringar ras hai. And I'm a woman. Why should I deprive myself of that? But it doesn't have anything to do with my mind or the seriousness of my intent or my ability to deliver. So I think as long as you are comfortable in what you're wearing, and I really wouldn't wear jhumkas and something, I mean, not it's very beautiful because you're on a show, but I don't think I would wear something... I'm ex-politician, Kiranji. Correct. And अगर आप किसी की इज्जत करते हैं, किसी के घर जाते हैं या कहीं काम करते हैं, तो आपको अच्छी तरह कपड़े पहनकर जाना चाहिए. ये मेरे माँ बाप ने मुझे सिखाया था. You can't just go rat-fat way, you know. You must respect that person.